Those Fantasy Dudes podcast with your hosts, Jonathan and Jake.
All right, what's going on, Jakelers?
I'm here in Florida, regrettably.
Jake hopped on a plane just to see me. We're in Florida together in my dad's kitchen filming, well, not filming, but recording this podcast. But yeah, Jake's down here in Florida. We're actually recording this podcast in person for the first time ever. I haven't even done that on our other podcast that we've done 150 episodes for. So
I've never met John before.
Who are you again?
Yeah.
Jake. This is the show where Jake and I get together on every single week, and we talk about our redraft, Dynasty, and keeper fantasy football leagues, talk a little NFL news, let's answer some of your questions, and
Make fun of each other.
Make fun of each other, talk shit about our league mates mostly.
Oh, man, did you see that comment coming from Truman where he was like, yeah, now you can't talk shit about the trades?
Why?
Because I finally completed one. I sent him Cup for Najee.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he accepted that?
Yep.
Wait, what league is this?
Oh. That's our Sam's league.
Wow. So you're making a run 0-6. It's the thing is it's bullshit because you have, I don't know if it's the most overall points, but you have more points than the guy that's 5-1, which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I have a great team. It's just, I mean, one thing you got to understand about fantasy football, especially if you're new and you're just getting into it, is it's a game of probability. Sometimes. It is not a game of get as prepared as you can so you guarantee to do good. It is a game of get as prepared as you can so your probability is higher than any other person's. It's like, yeah. In the seasons where I've done work to be better, I've made the playoffs every single year. So it's like that's not always going to be how it is, evident by this, but
it seems weird that it's just this league. Granted, you have won this league, but I joined it the year after you won, and for some reason, you and I just can't catch a break.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's because in the other leagues we play with, there are people that are competent at fantasy football, and I mean, granted, that one's been together for a few years, and like those people are pretty smart. So like,
and granted, there's also some people that are not competent at fantasy football that find a way to beat us and do
right.
Really well.
It's amazing sometimes how not analyzing stuff too much can be better analysis than being over the top with it.
Peter,
Allie,
yes,
yeah, she drafted Gronkowski. I was like, oh man, no,
bad pick. Not
great
bad pick. Yeah, that's like drafting Christian McCaffrey this year for the tight end position.
Yeah, and she drafted Derrick Henry.
Hate you.
A bunch of different people were like, a bunch of real like professional analysts were like, yeah, he's due for regression, like probably a top tier RB2, like really like, but that doesn't
not
matter.
By far the best running back in the league without question. Nobody said that.
Yeah, no one said that. Yep.
So, anyways, yeah, lots to talk about this week. Derrick Henry will definitely be a point of the conversation, but check us out on Instagram, Facebook, at Those Fantasy Dudes, our website, thosefantasydudespodcast.com. Thank you, Logan, for submitting a question on our website. That made all the time and monthly payment that I send to Wix every single month worth it. Thank you for that.
You're an angel.
My Venmo is at Jonathan.
Please start doing...
I have a cash app
injury
sale.
analysis
I have
for
a lot
us.
of ways that you guys can send me money.
Logan, you could just help us by doing injury analysis.
Yeah, why don't you fucking do that, dude? You're a literal. You went to school for 6 years and you don't want to be our injury analysis person?
What did you even go to school for if it's not to do fantasy football podcasts for us?
You have a literal Instagram.
What, did you want to help people?
Dedicated to PT Dr. Logan stuff. Make sure you send us questions there. If you want to send us an email, that's going to be at thosefantasydudes@gmail.com. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Music, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, CastBox, Reason, Radio Public, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and our sponsor, Anchor, which is also our host platform.
I get to flex on my boss a little bit about how we did have a sponsor.
We have a sponsor, and we've made a grand total of 43 cents so far. So
you know what?
That's those podcasts, boys.
That's 43 more cents than anyone else who doesn't have a sponsored podcast. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so eat
Fuck
shit, every one of you
people.
Listeners, all of you guys.
You don't have a podcast? Well, you should get an Anchor because it's a great platform.
You're missing out. You're leaving money on the table.
Yeah. Do you want free money for 10 hours a week of work? Do you want 40 cents for making free podcasts?
4 cents an hour?
Not maybe not even that.
Some
Honestly.
weeks definitely not. Yeah, definitely not this one. After all the editing you're gonna have to do already 6 minutes in.
Yeah, we're going places, guys. All right, why don't we, Jake? You want to get into some NFL news and injury updates?
Let's get into some NFL news and injury updates.
NFL news and injury updates.
Zach Ertz traded to the Arizona Cardinals only hours after his great performance in the Thursday night game against the Bucs.
Oh God, wait. How does that work in Sleeper? Because
Did you win your game? You should double check that.
Dude, I don't know if I really I don't know if I won my game, but I don't know if I won my game. That's the problem.
Do you need, as the commissioner, to actually add points for Zach Ertz? If he has no points, you need to add them, and then you get the loss. Because you told me that Allie had Derrick Henry and came back and almost won, but
it did it. It did it. Okay, it did the points. All right, we're good. Okay, good to see.
Thank you, Sleeper. And for those of you who don't know, Zach Ertz played in a Thursday night game and was an Arizona Cardinal before the Sunday games, which
the NFL has a policy where every player is eligible for one singular game a week. So
yeah, and the amount of times that would actually be a problem is, I think this would be like the first time that I've ever heard of. So it's very strange, but it would have been cool to get a twofer.
I feel like you just don't often see fantasy relevant players being traded mid-season, let alone after a Thursday night game before, like those deals are usually weeks, like where the player's like sitting out and they're like, well, if I'm being traded, I'm certain, like Kenyon Drake, when Kenyon Drake left, like when he didn't travel with Miami, and we were like, oh, he's for sure getting traded.
And all these guys go to the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals is the new.
That's true.
It's like the team that people want. J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins.
If you're not
AJ Green.
If you're not going to Tampa Bay or Baltimore to go try to win a ship, it's Arizona.
In Arizona, give them a year or two. They've been in the Super Bowl.
Give them a year or two. Give them this year. They're a competitor this year by far. I mean,
they've beaten really good teams.
They've got a really solid defense. They've got their wide receiver core is unbelievable. Truthfully, like it's really being almost slept on. Like I feel like no one's talking about Christian Kirk.
Trade for Randall Moore in Dynasty.
Only in Dynasty.
He's gonna be so fucking good.
He's gonna be good. Yeah, as soon as he gets the opportunity to be good, as soon as he gets a full volume.
Kirk's going to get traded. AJ Green's going to retire, and it's going to be Randall Moore and DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to be your new Justin Jefferson next year.
I disagree on that comparison because Justin Jefferson is an outlier and an amazing football player.
You're an outlier in this podcast. Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's a good thing. That means you're special.
That was nice.
That means you're a special man.
I liked that a lot. All right, let's get into some more news. All we've talked about is Zach Ertz so far.
Fuck Zach Ertz. I just think it's funny that on the 1 week he was relevant this season, you almost got a 2-for-1 with him also playing for the Cardinals, which didn't actually happen.
If how this worked out was he got double points this week, and
say that person ends up making the playoffs by one game because of that one thing, and then it's like it causes an uproar, and then you're not friends with anybody in your league anymore because of Zach Ertz.
Now I'm sad.
Fuck Zach Ertz. I hope he retires. The Jaguars released their kicker, Josh Lambo, because of Matthew Wright, who they actually just signed off the street, and he kicked the game-winning field goal against the Dolphins that got him their first win in over 20 games, or in 20 games.
How have you rewatched the video of Gardner Minshew after week 1 last year when he's like, that's a win, baby. And then he's like, but we're not done here. And then they lost every single game until that Dolphins game.
And then got the first overall pick in the NFL draft. Yeah, yikes.
Man.
I love Gardner Minshew. I feel so bad.
I wish he could have played himself into a job so badly. Because if he had got like...
How does Tyrod Taylor get so lucky, but Gardner Minshew can't catch a break?
Because Tyrod Taylor is actually better than Gardner Minshew. But if he had won like 5 games last year, they wouldn't have been able to get Taylor.
He'd be like the new Matt Castle. Like the shitty teams, instead of like using a first round pick on a quarterback, they would have been like, all right, I'll pick up Gardner.
Right. No, I think Jacksonville would have just stuck with him because they wouldn't have gotten the first pick. It would have been the Jets.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's speculation. But that's... I do love Gardner Minshew. He's electric.
Speaking of Gardner Minshew, the Ravens promoted Le'Veon Bell from their practice squad to the 53-man roster.
Oh, speaking of, because they're both irrelevant and trash?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell got a touchdown this week. Sorry for all you people who maybe started Latavius Murray, Maybe even Devonta Freeman. They all got a touchdown this week, and that's why Lamar had a shit game.
Yeah, I was going to say, huge Ravens fan. I love the Ravens, but just stay away from their backfield.
Terrible for fantasy.
Like, just if you can get Tyson in Dynasty, or if you can try to get J.K. Dobbins off somebody in Dynasty for cheap, which I have tried, but Tyler is rock solid on holding on to him.
I mean, I feel bad because I don't feel bad, but he drafted him second round.
Yeah.
Probably second round.
It was second. I'm sure it was second.
He invested a second round pick in J.K. Dobbins, and very soon after he was out for the season. You're going to want to cash in on him at some point, and if you don't get a great trade, then you're going to be holding on to him. So
I mean, the good thing is he's young. It's an injury that's very well known, and he'll come back.
He's not Cam Akers.
It's not his Achilles. It's not anything insane. And
exactly. Jake, this is the first week in the NFL season we have not had a season-ending injury, so I think we can get a round of applause.
I think that you are discounting the long-term effects of Kareem Hunt's possible injury.
Kareem Hunt will be back this season. I'm saying he's not out for the season, though. It's a calf injury, but we will get into that later.
Are you certain it's on Achilles?
Let me check Sleeper. We'll check Sleeper right now, which is a great source to get fantasy updates and whatnot. There is no update on that.
I thought that there was major concern from that it was his Achilles. I thought that was the deal.
So there definitely is concern, but as of right now, he is on the IR, basically.
So I mean, that's at least 3 weeks. That's good to know, but it's not out of the question. But that is good. That's good because, good God, has this season been riddled with injuries. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, no, I do think Kareem Hunt and honestly running backs especially have been demolished. For the most part, and I'm sure there's more to come, which I hate to say, but there definitely will be. It's just the name of the game. But Kareem Hunt, according to Ian Rappaport, is expected to miss several weeks due to injury. He is currently on the IR as far as I know, so 3 weeks bare minimum. He was carted off. He did not look happy. His injury looks a lot worse than his fellow running back Nick Chubb, who could play this week. It's not really... Actually, I'm sorry. No, he is out this week because they do have a Thursday night game, so he has been declared out. So if you have good waiver priority or a lot of fab and you're trying to win a game, Dearness Johnson or Demetric Felton would be the guys to pick up.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me, too, because I think Demetric Felton's going to be probably more of a PPR guy.
Which is what the Browns like. I'm not saying that Demetric Felton... I've just learned this man's name today. I've known about Dearness Johnson because he was a pickup last year for like maybe a week or so.
Yeah, his name popped up, yeah.
So, I mean, Demetric Felton, these guys have the coolest names, man. I'm Jonathan. Like, I feel so generic and boring, and then I read all these names, I'm like, Dearness? He's got an apostrophe in his name. That's punctuation. I don't have that.
Yeah. You could be Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Jonathan.
Imagine being like, I go up to people, I'm like, yeah, I'm Jonathan. They're like, Jonathan? I'm like, no. Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
It's pronounced Jonathan?
You really emphasize the J and the nothing.
Jonathan.
Is there an S in there now, too?
Yeah. Jonathan.
We're starting to slur our words.
It's me, Jonathan.
It's not related to anything alcohol related. But yeah, I mean, if you have any of those Browns running backs, and I also feel really bad for Kevin Stefanski because that's his entire offense, that blows ass. That sucks, dude. Like that
blows ass. The pause really did that.
That blows ass. Really fucking sucks for Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, that does suck for Kevin Stefanski.
Who are they playing on Thursday night? I don't even know. Who do the Browns play on Thursday night?
The Browns play the Broncos on...
So the Browns play the Broncos on Thursday night, according to Siri. So, yeah, the Broncos have a great defense.
Yeah, they're a pretty solid defense.
Yep, I picked them last week, and I
dog
did
shit
lose my survival
offense.
football.
Just dog shit.
Not great. Antonio Gibson hurt his shin this week. Actually, he hurt it during week 2, actually. And, it's just one of those injuries that he is going to have to sit out if he actually wants it to heal. Otherwise, it's just going to keep hurting. I feel like he's one of those guys that is going to want to keep playing. However, the Washington football team overall sucks.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately,
it's one of those situations where he doesn't have to play. Like, unless yes, it's early in the season, but they're really going to have to pull off some nice wins if they want to stay in contention because the Cowboys are running away with that division. So,
yeah, the Cowboys have been just unbelievable this year, dude. Their defense and the scary
Trayvon
thing
Diggs is unbelievable.
Dude, the scary thing is their defense is so young.
Yeah,
I mean Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. Those are Trayvon Diggs is what year is he? This is his second year?
2, maybe 3.
I think this is his second year, and Micah Parsons is a rookie.
Micah Parsons is really good.
He's been insane.
So, I mean, if you watch Hard Knocks, you see these guys, not only are they good at football, but they got some swagger to them as well. CeeDee Lamb, they have a young, good team. So that doesn't look well for Antonio Gibson this week because the Washington football team has very little to play for right now.
You know who's a big buy right now for me? Big buy low?
Jarrett Patterson.
Michael Gallup.
I have him in my IR slot on the Keeper League if you want him.
Dynasty only. He's like 20.
No, not just Dynasty. Well, yeah.
I'm not going to keep him, dude.
Well,
have you seen my team? I'm not going to keep him.
Well, no, I'm not going to keep him, but I guess in Dynasty because he's going to get traded.
Right. He's not going to stay.
No, he's not going to stay.
He's good. Shouldn't. He's good. Like I think Michael Gallup's going to leave and break out.
The only situation where I could see he stays is if they win the Super Bowl.
If they win the Super Bowl, yeah.
That's it.
He'd probably stay if they win the Super Bowl.
Which it's not going to fucking happen. It's the Cowboys. They'll lose in the first round for some reason. Christian McCaffrey, he's on the IR. We actually just missed this because it happened right after last week's episode, but he is officially going to miss at least 2 more weeks. Week 9 is the earliest return against New England. I'm hurting.
God, I hope he torches New England and just really makes you sad.
I don't care. I mean, at this point, as a New England fan, the Patriots are 2-4. They should have lost to the Texans.
Mac Jones is playing some.
He's awesome.
Really
I love
great
Mac Jones.
Football, dude.
Jersey.
Dude, did you see his quote where he's like, "One of my favorite parts is getting hit." He's like, "And getting back up, it gets the competitive juices going."
He's
it's
so
like, God,
great.
You're such a fucking football guy. He's just such a football guy, dude. It's amazing.
I'm smiling ear to ear right now.
I really
do
like.
love
I don't
Mac
even.
Jones.
I have moved on from liking the Patriots and growing up with them and stuff. But God, do I love Mac Jones? Like
he's awesome.
He's pretty cool.
He's really fun to watch too because the Patriots, they have a lot. Like their team is good, but they can't seem to figure out how to win a game right now. But that being said, Christian McCaffrey, I hope to God he's back in week 9. I am trudging through with my keeper league with Christian McCaffrey, and I very well hope that he can.
Where are you at right now for the keeper league? Where are you at?
I'm third place, 4-2.
You're still okay.
But the issue is I also have Antonio Gibson. Those are my top 2 backs, and they're both hurt.
Yeah, that's not a great look. I mean, at least you've got some wins. You can afford a week if Gibson's out 1 week. Or
yeah. I mean, my big hope right now, and I don't think Gibson, if he does sit out, I think he misses 1 total week.
Dude, how is Peter?
I don't know. I play him this week, so I don't want to talk about it because his team is probably
910 points on the season. Oh my God! Every time, dude. I don't understand it.
Peter has Derrick Henry and Cooper Kupp. He doesn't even know who those people are, and I guarantee you he hasn't watched a single game this season.
Wasn't his keeper accidentally Cooper Kupp too? Like, wasn't that one of his 50-50s?
It was supposed to be Alvin Kamara, which would have been better for the league because Alvin Kamara has been underwhelming this year.
My God,
it could have been Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, but instead
I know we already
deal.
talked about Peter on like either the last or the second to last episode because he's just an enigma. But like
he's running away with it. He very well might if Derrick Henry.
He might. I'm really glad I got my win on him out of the way. Like I beat him. I'm done. I don't have to face him again. I'm happy about that. I also don't have to face Derrick Henry again in any of my important leagues, which makes me really happy.
It's gonna be tough this week. We'll get into it a little bit later with our matchups, but I'm hurting right now. So going against
bye
Derrick
weeks. Oh my
fun.
God.
We'll get into the Byepocolypse, but Saquon Barkley with that low ankle sprain. There's no update since last week, but he has not been ruled out against Carolina. I don't think he plays though. I mean, that was a big fat looking ankle.
Yeah, I don't think he plays this week. I'm not saying next week's out of the question. I think he could come back, but
also there's nothing for the Giants to play for. They suck. So, and they've lost everyone else. I mean, like
Kadarius Toney this week.
Who knows if they even have a guy to hand the ball off? I don't even know.
Yeah. Speaking of the Giants, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, speaking of Kadarius Toney, he did leave for the locker room after re-aggravating his injury from a few weeks ago. He has an ankle injury. According to the coaches, it could be very serious. Why so serious?
I hate that.
It's October. It's Spooktober.
Spooky-tober.
Yep. So that sucks if you just picked him up because he was some hype last week.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I think really, I mean, we don't do a lot of DFS, but I think that murdered people in DFS because people were getting him because he was cheap. And so we don't do a lot of that, but God, that must have sucked. And I mean, here's the thing. If he's out the rest of the season, this might be a buy low for Dynasty. Like you might be able to pick him up off somebody who,
if he's on a team where someone is trying to win now, then take him.
Right. Or send him, send a second round pick. He's got first round draft capital. He showed he can be good when given the opportunity. Yeah. And the rest of his squad is young, and they clearly believe in him because they took him earlier than they absolutely had to.
There's been an insane amount of talent coming out of that draft class this year. The
NFL is only getting younger and younger every year. Like, it's not like,
I haven't paid attention to it until this year because this is when we started Dynasty, but there is a lot of talent. Najee, Kadarius Toney, there's so many players, offensive and defensive, that have just blown up in their first 6 games. It's actually insane. So, if you have Clyde, sorry, but Darrell Williams blew up this week.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
At least I got Darrell Williams in some leagues. Like, I am sad. I do have Clyde in the 0-6 league.
You poor man.
You know what? At least the last place punishment in that league is a lot of fun this year, and not eating an onion.
I think it's me and you going head to head for that music video, so we might as well do it together.
We should just agree that whoever comes in last is the subject of the music video, and if we face off, the other person has to film it.
Yeah, I think that's
I would definitely do that.
Fair.
I would agree to that. All right, we're in on that.
Dawson Knox broke a bone in his hand last night, and he still threw a touchdown to Josh Allen in the end zone after he broke his hand.
Dawson Knox threw a touchdown to Josh Allen?
He did, and that is why I won my Yahoo Winners League by 1 point.
Wow, I guess I really missed out on that one.
He got a total of 6 points last night, and 4 of which came from throwing a touchdown.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
George Kittle, still in the IR. That's a big wasted pick if you got him in the 3rd round this year.
Somebody in my work league started him this week.
That's a problem. Somebody in my work league started Saquon Barkley again.
That dude also hasn't paid his buy-in. I keep seeing him at work, and I'm like, "Hey man, you gotta pay your buy-in.
Pay your fucking buy-ins." And anybody who's listening.
Although you know what, I'm talking shit, but I owe Jonathan $100 for buy-in so far.
that is
I just keep,
true.
I just keep being like, I'll pay him.
You're here with me right now, and he still hasn't handed me the fucking cash. No, whatever.
To be fair, I've actively spent.
We might as well call it even. You're buying me a lot of beer, and I'm drinking most of it since you've been here. So
that's fair. You did drink most of that. It's okay.
Rodrigo Blankenship has officially been sent to the IR, and the Colts have signed Michael Badgley.
Ooh, the Badge Master.
Is that what we're calling him now?
No.
The agent, because he has a badge.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I'm reaching. I'm really reaching. Rodrigo Blankenhip. I really hope Damian Williams doesn't play this week. I hope his COVID is horrible because I have Khalil Herbert in our keeper league, and I really need to start him. I really need him to start. He got me 19 points last week.
I have Damian Williams, and my opponent in my work league has Khalil Herbert.
Ooh,
so I need Damian Williams to start.
So in my work league I have both of them, so it doesn't matter. But in a keeper league, I only have Khalil. So, Damien, I hope it's the worst COVID you've ever had.
He's probably just a close contact. I think
he actually has it. I have it right here. Actually tested positive as opposed to a close contact.
Oh, boy.
So, he has the COVID.
It depends on... Although he went out right after the last week's game, so...
I think he plays. But...
could play.
Yeah. Maybe
Either way.
Be a little
Either way, start whoever plays.
Wow, I thought that was all the injuries. Baker Mayfield has a shoulder injury. He's dislocated his shoulder.
He came out and said his labrum was fully torn after week 2. I don't know if you read that.
I did, but he also said, and I quote, "Only I know how my body feels. It's my decision. I get to say whether I play or not, and that's how it is." That's some Mac Jones energy right there.
That's some fucking football guy talk.
So
that's just guys being fucking dudes.
Don't fuck with that man. He's playing, and it's also his non-throwing shoulder. So
yeah,
like that.
Dude, I love Baker Mayfield. Like I, as a Ravens fan, hate the Browns. But
really, you're gonna come out and say you hate the Browns?
Yeah, fuck
Who
the
hates
Browns.
the Browns?
Fuck the Browns. Fuck the Steelers. Fuck the Bengals.
You have Joe Burrow on your dynasty team.
Yeah, I love Joe Burrow.
Who hates the Browns? Like, I can't come out. Actually, I don't like the Bills now. I don't like the Dolphins, and I hate the Jets, and they suck, and they've never been a.
I hope the Ravens kick the absolute piss and shit out of the Browns. So,
all right,
I'll stand by that.
I've never liked the Ravens.
Yeah, that's fair. They did have what was his name? The only quarterback, Trent Dilfer, the only quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl and then not be asked back to his team.
Joe Flacco didn't last long after he won a Super Bowl.
But they still asked him to keep playing football
for another year.
Can you imagine winning a Super Bowl and they're like, "Yeah, I think we're better off without you, man."
That's when you have a really good fucking defense.
Yeah, they did. That was when they had like Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, and
that's like, I guess that was a team where like Jacoby Brissett could have led them.
Jacoby Brissett could have won a Super Bowl with them in a heartbeat.
Fair enough.
Jacoby Brissett could have. Friggin' Teddy Two Gloves.
Matt Castle.
Ryan Fitzpatrick could have won.
Josh Rosen?
Probably a couple. I think Josh Rosen could have won one.
Wow. Imagine Josh Rosen Super Bowl winner.
Dude, if you just a game manager, if you can just like...
If you can physically hold a football and hand it to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, really. So, but anyway, I don't even remember what we were talking about other than...
I think Baker's going to be fine, basically.
Baker Mayfield's a great dude. Big fan.
He does have the Thursday Night Football game on Thursday, but I think he's going to play, basically, is what I'm trying to get at here.
I think he plays, but I think temper expectations. If you're expecting to stream him, I don't think you should stream him.
I wouldn't start Baker in any games. I really don't.
Games I would start Baker in.
I don't know. Well, actually, now considering they have no running backs, I might consider, but they don't really have any wide receivers either. So,
people are sleeping on Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he can catch Hail Marys, that's great. But as relying on
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, okay. One of which was a complete godsend.
Good for him.
Yeah, I like his name. Dak Prescott hurt his calf on the game-winning touchdown throw to CeeDee Lamb, which gave me a grand total of like 22 points in one play. I'll take it. As a Patriots fan, I was screaming with joy.
Yeah. Yeah. I traded CeeDee Lamb away in Dynasty, but I got Dalvin Cook, baby.
Yeah, and he's going into a bye, and you're going against me this week, so that worked out great for me.
Yeah, it works out well for the whole show. All right.
Damn right. Yeah, Dak will be fine, but he really hucked that football on that play, I guess.
Man,
hurt his calf.
He can. That was a good throw. There's just nothing else to say about it. That was just a good.
Did you see that
CeeDee
Lamb taunted? I think his name is David Mills or something for the Patriots, the corner.
As he was going into the
that, and then also after the play, but since the game was over, there was no penalty because they're really cracking down on taunting this year.
They're gonna fine Aaron Rodgers a boatload of money.
Yeah, I mean, you can't talk shit to fans.
Dude, the fans flipped him off, and he was like, "I fucking owned you since I've been here." Something like
true.
That.
You have.
Fair. You have, yeah.
And you still continue to do so.
But, like, you were also Aaron Rodgers, and you don't need to get into petty arguments with fans.
Just because you're married to the girl from A Fault in Their Stars doesn't mean you can be an asshole to women in the front row in Chicago.
Okay.
And you're going to be the host of Jeopardy, too. So, good for you, Aaron Rodgers. Latavius Murray hurt his ankle, apparently, but there's no information on it. So, I don't know what to say about
that. Redraft Devonta Smith. No, not Devonta Smith.
Freeman.
Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of
Devonta Smith still gets tired, but
yeah, I would go after Devonta Smith in the Ravens backfield.
Yeah, he's going to be a really solid running back there. The Slim Reaper really is going to crush it in Baltimore.
I think this one's interesting. Alex Collins is hurt. He might play, but did you see DJ Dallas carry that football?
DJ Dallas is great. I have him in Dynasty.
He's really good.
He's good at football. He filled in last year as well. Remember, he had a blow-up game. You played him.
I played him, and he was really good. I think it was the week with Christian McCaffrey against you.
Dude, I think this might, like, I know that this is a little bit narrative-y and a little bit, like, whatever. But I think this could be his opportunity. If he gets out there and blows up.
It's not like Chris Carson is young.
Right. Chris Carson's old. Rashad Penny has done fucking nothing.
Poor guy's been injured.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's not injury related, but it's still nothing. So he either blows up and stays with Seattle, which I would not prefer, or goes somewhere else and is, a stud.
He looks great. Also, Travis Homer looked really good. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind. I wouldn't start any of them this week. I don't know.
If you know Alex Collins is out and you have DJ Dallas and you're in a pinch, I could see starting DJ Dallas. I don't think I'd start Travis Homer necessarily because I haven't seen anything from Travis Homer that says start him, but we have from DJ Dallas.
It also is Byepocolypse, so if you have to start Travis Homer, start him. Who knows? He was cracking 10-yard runs like nobody's business the other night, so keep that in mind. Don't take my word for it, though.
Either way, I apologize if you have to start either of those players.
Yeah, if you're stuck with that, which I'm not that far off, it sucks. But Mike Williams hurt his knee, and that's another reason why I beat Tyler in Dynasty.
Yeah,
there's also no information on that yet, but that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Also, fuck all you people who got Mike Williams in like the 10th round. I hate you.
Oh, man, he's been so bad. Not bad for the last couple of years. It's not that he's been bad.
He just gets hurt because he's like...
No, he's been a great deep threat, big game guy, but that's not what he is anymore. He's fucking getting like, what, 10 targets a game and shit sometimes?
It's just ridiculous.
Like, it's like, I mean, I get they got a new coach, but like I feel like you never see this kind of stuff where it's like a new coach comes in and a guy that you think is pretty good is like suddenly...
I'm telling you, man, I've always been on this, but the number 2 guy, go after that guy. When Stephon Diggs was in Minnesota, Adam Thielen was the guy. I went after Juju when Antonio Brown was with the Steelers.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also plenty of examples where that's not what you want. You didn't want Juju this year.
No, because he definitely wasn't the number 1 guy. But yeah,
no, he's the number 2.
But there's been multiple situations where I've been like, okay,
you need high pass volume for that to be an effective. I agree.
Correct.
I like that, but like it worked for Minnesota because Dalvin Cook could open it up, and they're covering Dalvin Cook, and then you got 2 wide receivers and a solid quarterback. And also in that context, no really super fantasy relevant tight end. Kyle Rudolph was never really like. They
had Irv Smith, but that did not last long this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That seems like way old news at this point, but I was really hyped on Irv Smith going into this year. Odell hurt his shoulder this week. The poor guy. The poor man.
I'm surprised he's not retiring.
He's not that old, is he? 28?
No, he's just banged up.
I know.
He played for the Giants as the guy for how many years? It's like...
I know,
it's honestly unfortunate to see because they were a terrible team every single year he was there, and it's
that's
like
the thing.
What wasted talent. It's that sometimes it's hard and sad to see that because it's like a great player,
Adrian Peterson,
just
Barry Sanders,
absolutely dumping their career. Like I know teams change and things turn around, but good God, man, what a wasted career for the end of Eli Manning's career and the start of Daniel Jones. And
that's why you see these like older players that were studs at one point going to like the Patriots or the Chiefs or
Tampa Bay right now. Antonio Brown.
Tampa Bay.
Hey, shout out to Antonio Brown for absolutely being right about John Gruden. he was like, nah, this dude's
who was the real problem in Oakland? Apparently it was John Gruden.
Clearly it's John Gruden. I mean, good God, he was right. He was right about that, and he was right about Big Ben's decline at the Steelers.
Crazy.
That was I mean, Antonio Brown really is a dude who throws bicycles at fucking mailmen, but actually
he did that, didn't he?
He did throw a bicycle at a mailman. Yeah.
I wonder what kind of bike it was. Was it like a Specialized or like
it's probably just it's probably
LA?
It's probably a nice bike.
I'm sure it was a nice bike.
Probably a road bike.
I wouldn't assume he has a not nice bike.
I don't even know if it was his bike though, to be honest.
Maybe he just found it in the street.
Could be someone else's bike.
Like the mailman?
A mailman.
As if they don't have to deal with enough. Like to deal with Antonio Brown throwing a bicycle at you.
With your mailman job, and you just spent the whole day walking around the neighborhood. This is like your last route. Antonio Brown's just on some bullshit and throws a bike at you, and then you got to go home after that and be like, Antonio Brown threw a bike at me. I still got to go to work tomorrow and deliver mail. Like, I don't think you got to, like,
I doubt they got a day off. They're a government
employee. You get a day off? Like, somebody's got to deliver that mail.
That's a distinct 9 to 5
Can you
position.
call out as a mailman? I know this is very off topic, but like, does the mail just not get delivered, or do they have backup mailman?
They need me. I don't know.
Do they just say, "Hey, you got to go cover this guy's route. Here's overtime"?
Is Matt Castle just sitting on the bench ready to deliver mail?
Oh man,
or like Taylor Heineke or like John Henney, Chad Henney.
Hey, but don't lump Taylor Heineke in with them.
Taylor
Heineke still actively. I started him this week.
We both did that, and that was a bad fucking choice. I could have started Kirk Cousins, who was the QB1 this week, actually, I believe. Or he was a QB1 this week.
Okay, yeah, no, that sounds right.
My mistake. A
QB1.
Very distinct difference there.
A big difference.
Terrence Marshall got a concussion, no information yet, but that sucks. He hasn't really done much for fantasy relevance this year, but hang on to him in Dynasty.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. You probably weren't starting him in redraft anyway.
Yeah. Paris Campbell hurt his foot after getting like a 60-yard touchdown reception from Carson Wentz.
If he's out, I want to say Michael Pittman is a great start, but he just can't beat coverage one. He just can't. He can't beat their top guy.
Really? Have you seen that?
I mean, that's
he's not good enough, huh?
That's been evident. No, he's great. He's great, but he's not. When he's the only target out there other than Jonathan Taylor, it's tough. No matter who you are.
I still think this is a trade for Pittman situation because
I think Pittman's being highly undervalued in general because as soon as it's clear that Carson Wentz is not the solution to that team,
they haven't had a solution since Peyton left.
They have a really young team, and if they could solve that, they can really. Because once you get your guys back, and really, I truly think that they kind of messed up not sending T.Y. Hilton somewhere for something this year.
I mean, honestly...
Like, I know that people are out on N'Keal Harry, but T.Y. Hilton for N'Keal Harry would benefit both of those teams.
You know what the Colts need to do?
What?
Allen Robinson, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers. That's what you need to do. You got
Colts
Jonathan
need
Taylor,
to bring in
a great
Devontae
offensive
Adams
line.
and Allen Robinson?
Yes.
What do you think? They have endless pockets? Who's going to be on their O-line?
Get rid of all
Just
your
fans?
receivers.
Is it going to be fans day out on the O-line?
Frank Reich is going to be at center.
What are you just going to have an entire undrafted free agent O-line?
I'm just saying.
League minimum for your entire O-line?
You have Pittman, Allen Robinson, and Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Strictly incentive O-line and defense.
I don't even... The Colts are such a non-team to me. It's like such a... Like, I don't want to root for the Colts. It's like, who cares? But I think it's a situation that could benefit from having all those players.
I love Jonathan Taylor, though.
I like Jonathan Taylor.
Big Jonathan Taylor guy.
Speaking of the Colts, T.Y. Hilton hurt his quad on the first game. He was back for the entire season. He was becoming T.Y. Houston, and then he got hurt.
Yep.
So who cares? This is the real important part of the week, though. It is week 7, which means the Bills, Chargers, Steelers, Cowboys, Vikings, and Jags are on bye.
Those ones hurt.
Huge.
Those are big teams.
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, which is hurt. He's hurt anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Beasley, Sanders, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, all out for the Bills. You're not going to have Herbert. You're not going to have Eckler. No Mike Williams, Jared Cook, Keenan Allen, all gone. Najee Harris really hurts me in Dynasty. Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Ebron, Dak Prescott, Cooper, Lamb, Elliott, Pollard, Schultz, Cousins, Cook, Jefferson, Thielen, Conklin. And then, of course, James Robinson, I think, is the big loss this week for the Jaguars because he's been really good.
Yeah, the only good Jaguar.
Really good.
Unless you're getting points for fingering girls in bars.
Oh, my God. Did you start Urban Meyer this week?
God, no. He's that team, man.
At least they got the win. I'm happy for the kicker.
Good for them, but that team is not... That's not a good start. Like
it's the enigma of the NFL. Like,
dude, no matter who you are, did you hear all the reports though? The entire team is laughing at him. Like he broke up the entire all of the group into different specialized groups rather than apologizing to the entire team
like a man or a coach.
Right, yeah. Like stepping up and doing that. And I guess the reports are just like the minute he walked out the door everyone was laughing. It's like, yeah, he fucking deserves it. Like, I don't know what to say other than that. Like,
maybe he should just go coach high school or something.
Maybe he should have stuck around in college where he was making money hand over fist and having a great time winning ships.
Yeah. Just do what Nick Saban does. He tried actually, I think he was starting in the NFL and then went to Alabama, and why leave? You know?
Yeah.
So, fuck.
Saban was an NFL coach?
For the Dolphins for a long time.
What years? Was that their...
Probably the years like the Patriots won the first couple Super Bowls, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
they were very good.
It's been a while. He's been at Alabama.
I wasn't sure if it was because didn't they win like 4 didn't they go undefeated?
That was like Don Shula time.
Okay, that's what I knew it was a prolific coach. I just didn't remember his name.
He was really just one of those in-between coaches that just the NFL didn't really work out. So
yeah.
The only guy that's really succeeded in both was like Pete Carroll. Like he's been great.
Yeah, USC, right?
USC, They won national championships. They won a Super Bowl.
I mean, it's tough because unfortunately your players have way different motivations in college versus the NFL.
Yeah,
so it's an interesting jump.
He also had Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart in 2005 going against Vince Young. So
he what?
He had Reggie Bush on his team, Matt Leinart, 2005, one of like the best college running backs of all time, and then kind of very underwhelming in the NFL. But all right, Jake,
talking matchups.
Matchup rewind.
Matchup rewind.
So
you're saying you won your work league? Because I wasn't sure.
I won my work league, and that's okay. So I thought previously, I was like, oh man, I thought it was up a little bit more. That was a tight game.
So that means you went 2-2 this week, and I went 4-1 collectively with our leagues.
Yep.
I won Keeper, Dynasty, my work league, and my Yahoo Winners League. Thank you, Dawson Knox, for that touchdown pass. And of course, I lost the redraft league yet again by a lot.
Man, that league hurts my bones. I just don't. I don't get what the fuck I'm doing wrong. Like I get
You're not doing anything wrong.
I've seen the mistakes I've made. Like, you know, not starting Deontay Johnson when he came back from injury. Okay, I get it. But like it wasn't.
There's risk involved.
I started
in that
DJ Moore over him. It wasn't like I made a stupid pick. It was like he just came back from injury. DJ Moore was on fire. Like I don't know. It's fantasy. Like we said at the top of the podcast. This is not a game of doing research so that you can guarantee yourself some sort of winning. This is doing research so you can guarantee yourself some sort of probability of winning rather than just going blindly. And that's really important to understand about this and about the work that you put into fantasy is that you will never get a 1-to-1 return on, oh, well, I put in 10 hours. It's like I should be ahead of other people.
This is sports betting.
Yeah.
We're talking about sports betting. Let's not forget what we're doing.
You can show up
surface
and do stuff, literally learn a few things and be miles ahead of other people just because you got lucky on the picks that you made and things fell in your way.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, that's part of what makes this a great game anyway.
All you can do is do your research, hope for the best, and hopefully beat your friends because that's the best part about it. Getting the money is honestly second for me. All I've done is lose money in fantasy. I'm still going back every year and spending more money.
I'm in the green, but yeah, I
am not. I am far in the red.
Yeah,
at this
you've
point.
Been doing it longer, and also you
I have not won a single dollar playing fantasy football.
Damn, that's wild.
And yet,
my context for fantasy football is I'll put some money in, and at the end of the season, I get money back.
That has never happened.
I've only ever lost money my first year.
Yeah, I mean it's
because every other year I've come in I came in second in our league, and at least that was double. And then that was the league I came in first in Sam's year, and then last year I won ours, and
it's worked out well. I mean, you came in at the right time. I think I played for a couple years before that. Obviously, it's nowhere near as serious as it is now. But
dude, it's got so serious.
You really intense
because you're so competitive. You couldn't watch me put in more effort and do better than you, and not immediately do the same thing. And I'm also the same way. So.
I love it. The competitive nature of fantasy football is my favorite part of it.
I love finding new people that are really great. We added a guy that we hadn't had in any leagues, Tyler, to our league, and he's been firing off trades. He's texting me about stuff.
Very vocal in the chats.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So.
I hate the players in our league that just don't contribute anything, don't send messages, I'm not asking you to trade players away just to trade players away, but what I am asking is talk a little shit in the league, say something, to have an opinion.
Imagine playing Monopoly and you just sit there on your phone and don't try to trade properties.
Yeah.
Fuck
we should play
that.
some Monopoly.
I love Monopoly.
You got 6 hours?
Yeah, probably. We should continue with the podcast, though. Jake, who are your dudes of the week?
I would say it's got to be Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson he kept me in that game. He won that one for me.
Yep. I wasn't sure if there's somebody in your work league that really pulled through for you, but
Darrell Williams.
Okay, that's a good one.
Darrell Williams, yeah, he pulled through. I would not have won without my performance. I started. Keeper will give you ideas on like basically, who started the best possible lineup, and that's what I said, right?
I think you said keeper.
Oh, well, anyway, sleeper,
idiot.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm so stupid.
It's been a long night. We're recording this late. We had a lot of other stuff to do today.
So, sleeper will tell you basically like what you could have started and what is your maximum point potential, and I started the absolute maximum point potential.
So far that's made me feel really good about myself because I've for the most part done pretty great.
I've gotten a few best managers over the weeks, and that really pumps you up.
I'm loving my Dynasty team so much. Like my team's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
for a first year player, I'll take it. My dude of the week, and it's two because it's a duo. It's Dak and CD. I couldn't imagine a better.
Zero argument.
As a Patriots fan, sucks because we had league mates, friends. My stepfather was there, and they're all other than one friend who was a Cowboys fan. Good for you, TJ. You would hate to see that and then drive home 4 hours after the Patriots just. Last second, not a Hail Mary, but like it was just a great play by the Cowboys.
It's just you hate to see it because there's no coming back from that. You don't get the ball in your hands again.
No,
it's done.
It's over.
OT.
That's it.
So
and granted, I think it's a much better way to do overtime because it's hard. I think anybody could argue one way or the other for overtime. Because overtime used to just be like kick a field goal, you win.
Yeah, that's
this is better. It really is, and it's so much more exciting when you throw a walk-off touchdown. It's like hitting a walk-off home run.
That was badass. Yeah, that was awesome. There's no argument. That was cool.
Yeah, and it won me the week. Like it really did. Jeff would have had to get Tyler Bass like 28 points, which would have been like an NFL record for fantasy for a kicker.
What did that been? What's the highest kicker score?
I would say at least 20 something.
It's okay. It's the ones that have scored rushing touchdowns on trick plays.
Oh,
that's
wow! I've never even thought about that as a possibility.
I guess Jay Feely. I remember
Jay
he
used to kick for the Giants. Why do I know that?
Yeah, 2010, he scored a rushing touchdown and scored. He rushed for a 20-yard TD and had 5 field goals that game.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I guess he scored like 30 points. Yeah, that's nuts.
Wow, imagine that happens. Matt Prater, I pray to you,
bro.
He's been killing it. Matt Prater's been fucking great.
I'd fucking unplug if somebody beat me when their kicker scored 30 points on like a Monday night.
Yeah, but you got to sit back and be like, that kicker ran for a touchdown. Like, congrats. This is why we need kickers.
I don't think I could come back from that, dude. That's so brutal.
That would be the end.
30 points, dude. 30 points out of a kicker.
Dude,
I would immediately be crusading to remove kickers from my league. If I like right now, I'm pretty neutral on kickers because like I haven't won or lost because of one really.
Duds of the week. I had Devonta Smith. I mean, granted, on Thursday night going against Tampa Bay, he should have had a great game, but instead, Jalen Hurts was running in touchdowns. He had a bad football game, but had a great fantasy game, and that did not translate for Jalen Hurts, who went 4-2-31. Terrible.
Yeah, not what you want.
Really bad. So that was mine. I mean, he just really underwhelming. I was lucky to win this week by 1 point, but Devonta Smith should have made it easy for me.
Yeah.
He did not. So that's my guy.
I'm going to have to go Taylor Heineke.
Oh, I had Lamar Jackson for you in the redraft league.
Leave Lamar Jackson out of this. They won.
Okay, but he was really bad for fantasy.
That's fine. He won.
Okay, go with Taylor Heineke. You're picking a backup quarterback as your dud?
He's not a backup quarterback. He's the starting quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick's out for the season.
No, well, yeah. All for all intents and purposes, he is out for the season. Yes, for
just full stop. He's out of the. He's out of the fucking. He's not playing.
If you don't want to throw Lamar under the bus, I will. Yeah, 167 yards, one touchdown.
Yeah. How did Taylor Heineke do? 13-31. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson still had a pretty good week, going 34-6.
All right, he did better than that. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So Taylor Heineke got his shit kicked in by the Kansas City Chiefs. It really just was not prepared, clearly.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, it's the name of the game. I thought he would. It seemed like a pretty solid matchup, like one they might be able to actually do something in. But
yeah, no bueno. No bueno for Taylor Heineke.
I mean, Taylor Heineke, he was able to put up 25 against Buffalo. It's like, I mean, Buffalo's still a hard team. They've got one of the best defenses and a really solid offense. I don't know. I thought it was a good start. It was not a good start. Whatever.
I did the same thing. I took your advice and started. I'm like, this is going to be great.
Yeah, it seemed like a smash start. It really did.
So, it happens. Again, name of the game, fantasy. But why don't we talk matchups?
Let's talk matchups.
Talking matchups.
All right, Jake. So let's get into keeper first.
Sure.
So I am 4-2 going against Pistol Pete. Once again, he keeps getting brought up on this podcast.
Matchup. Yeah, because he's so good.
He is good without even trying to be
for
good.
no reason.
He is also 4-2 this week, and of course, Peter, the guy who makes our sounds on the podcast. For those of you who might have forgot,
God bless Peter.
Lamar Jackson, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, Latavius Murray is hurt. That might help me.
That's going to be positive for you.
Yeah, but he also has Antonio Brown, Tyler Higbee going against Detroit, Cooper Kupp going against Detroit.
Yeah. Well, you never know though, because sometimes those cake matchups for those stud wide receivers aren't good matchups.
Yeah, because they're going to be going against him. Like if they're going to cover anybody, Detroit's going to be covering Cooper Kupp.
Right. So
and probably
I think
not Tyler Higbee, but
I want to say Darrell Henderson game, but also Cooper Kupp's been phenomenal pretty much every week. So,
and I have Darrell Henderson in my work league, and he's been winning me games.
He's been really good.
So
yeah, he's been really good. I 2 years ago when he first came to the Rams with Todd Gurley was there, I was like, this dude's going to be phenomenal because he was amazing at Memphis.
Was he? Okay.
He was really good. He was there. He was the running back before, I believe, Antonio Gibson. Because Antonio Gibson's also a Memphis guy.
Well, yeah, in terms of Peter, I am worried, but I do have Matthew Stafford going against Detroit. So every time Cooper Kupp does get a touchdown, Matthew Stafford also gets a touchdown for me. Got Godwin, Debo. I'm really just worried about my running backs. I got Gibson, who might not even play, and Chuba going against the Giants isn't so bad. Kelsey, Pittman, Matt Prater. So, and other than that, I got everybody on bye. Everybody's on bye. So I have a lot of Cowboys. I have a few Vikings. So it's tough. Peter's a really worthy opponent. I'll give him that.
Every year, too. I just don't fucking get it. Can you just fuck up 1 year?
Can you just fuck off,
like,
Peter?
Can you just stop being fucking good for a
can you
year,
just
dude?
go away, dude? I gave him a free buy-in to our league this year because he made our sounds, and he's still gonna run away with all the money.
Man, you gotta.
I'm paying for him to be in this league this year.
Man, you're gonna feel so dumb if he kicks the shit out of you this week.
I think you have a free win this week. To be honest with you, Tyler, you're going against Tyler's 2-4. He does not have Josh Allen this week, so
that's pretty big. But I mean, Brandon Cooks against Houston. I'm actually very nervous about that.
You gonna start Taylor Heineke?
No, I'm really not. I'm gonna. There's other quarterbacks on the waiver. I know people from that league listen to this show, so I'm not gonna.
Who are you gonna pick up, Jake? Who are you gonna pick up? Do you want me to trade you
man.
somebody?
No. Wait, who do you have? What?
I have Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott.
Oh, actually.
Do you need a quarterback?
Actually, yeah, live on the show. Who do you need off my team?
Actually, I'm gonna take a look. Hold on a second. Me and Jake. Jake's number 1. I'm number 3 with Pistol Pete in the middle. Jeez, I mean, I could use a running back. Not gonna lie.
No.
Okay. I already tried to make an offer to get Darren Waller. I have Kelsey, and I feel like we could make a good deal. Are you gonna start Hunter Renfrow?
Probably. I've got Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, and Austin Eckler on bye.
I feel like that guy shoots sheep for fun.
He doesn't seem like a good person.
No, he doesn't. It might just be the look of him, but I feel like he
kills
does some
sheep
fucked
or
up
anything.
shit
I don't
on
know what
farms.
that's about. But yeah, you're right. He doesn't look like a good person.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
Nah, he was kind
Donates to
of
charity.
an asshole. I think on social media. I don't know. I'm not going to start.
That's the type of
beef
guy
with
who just
Hunter
shouldn't
Renfrow.
be on social media. He seems like a type of guy who would just hate on people who have a Facebook page.
All right, you ready for me to talk my matchup?
Yeah, talk redraft. Go.
Redraft.
Oh, I just talked about your keeper matchup. Here, go ahead.
Oh, you did talk about keeper matchup. Keeper matchup's pretty cake. I think this week. His RB2 currently is Mark Ingram.
Famous last words. Mark Ingram got 16 carries for like 70 yards last week. He ended up with like 10 points.
How's Arizona's defense been?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah, okay. I'm not worried about it.
He's also got Zach Ertz.
Yeah, also not worried about Zach Ertz particularly.
And Lockett's not going to... You're going to win. That's basically what I'm going to say.
I'm not counting my eggs before they hatch. I would love a win here.
I like that saying.
Yeah, you like that? I would love a win here because I think a win would really kind of secure a playoff spot right now. If I can be 6-1, and
it's pretty good
because I mean, you and Pistol Pete are playing, and you and Pistol Pete are 2-3.
Right. So yeah, actually, this really helps you if you could get a win this week, and one of us is going to lose. Obviously,
right. If I can get a win and you can beat Pistol Pete, actually, that would be huge because Pistol Pete's got a much higher point score than me, but you don't necessarily.
Neither of us want to play Pistol Pete in the playoffs.
Oh man,
it's very likely to happen regardless.
We avoided it last year by the grace of Allie because Allie beat him.
It was the grace of Pistol Pete not paying attention to his team.
Yeah, man. If Pete just paid attention to his team, he would be the 2-time champion right now.
You'd have so much extra money in your pocket. You could probably move out of your parents' house, Pete.
Why you gotta say that? That's fucking mean.
I think he actually did. I think he actually just got a place.
What the fuck? Why you gotta say that on the podcast? I don't have that many listeners, but what the fuck?
Hey, I live with my dad, so what's the difference? I mean,
you do
anymore, but I
actually,
did for a long time.
And those in glass houses, you know.
Yeah, that is what it is. I don't know what that saying means, but moving on.
Those in glass houses shouldn't cast stones.
Oh,
you see,
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Yep,
you're a smart guy.
Yeah, because you live with your dad.
Yeah, we're at my dad's house right now.
We are actively in your father's home,
recording this on a glass table.
Yep,
did you hear that?
That's good glass.
Damn right.
Yep. So my redraft league. I'm gonna start.
Can we just bypass this part of the podcast?
I'm gonna start whoever and still lose. So I don't really give a shit.
You're gonna lose to a girl this week, Jake.
A girl?
Yeah, you're going against Brianna this week.
No, I'm not. I'm facing Will Fork for food.
That's Brianna.
No, that's not.
I'm stupid, aren't I?
Brianna is Gronk's new groove.
Oh.
Yeah, he won last year. Actually, I think, right?
No, Truman won last year.
Oh, it was them in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, so you're going against Mitch this week, then.
Who I could get a W because he's got Stephon Diggs and Dak Prescott, but he's also got Travis Kelce and Jamar Chase. But otherwise, I mean, I really have a good shot in this one. This might be my first W because he also can't start Zach Moss, Adam Thielen, Devin Singletary, Tony Pollard. And then he has another kicker on his bench and Indianapolis, and then George Kittle in his IR.
How do you feel about having a worse record than a guy who has 2 kickers on his roster?
Brother, if I lose this week, I'm probably just going to stop paying attention to this fucking league, to be honest with you. If I lose this week, I might just pull my team, and I've already submitted my buy-in. It's gone. It's down the garbage disposal.
So you bought into this league, but you haven't bought into the leagues that I manage?
Yes.
Wow, thank you for admitting that on podcast.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know what I'm about.
If you were 0-7, I don't think I've ever seen someone go 0-7.
I've never been 0-7. I've never been that bad. Even in my first year playing, when I went 1-14 or something.
I don't think it was that bad.
It was pretty.
But it was bad. It was not good. Okay. Well, yeah. In the redraft league, I'm going against Ian, who is going to fucking destroy me this week. I don't really have a quarterback. My entire team is on bye. I don't have Dalvin Cook. I don't have James Robinson. I don't have Emmanuel Sanders. I don't have Chase Claypool. I don't have Kirk Cousins. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I have Heineke, Godwin, Devonta Smith, Alex Collins, Devonta Booker, who might not even start, Hawkinson, Darnell Mooney. My team is ghastly, like the Pokemon.
Ooh.
Can I just start the Pokemon ghastly instead?
I don't think they like that.
There's no way in fuck I win this game this week.
No way in fuck.
He's got Kyler Murray, Devonta Adams, Antonio Brown, Mixon, Sanders, Pitts, Corey Davis. It's not even.
Yeah.
I lose. My team looks
tough.
Terrible. It's
That's
I'm
tough.
starting third string running back. So, but this is the cream of the crop, Jake. Dynasty football.
Yeah, you're
finally
top dog, right?
Top dog, 5-1. Same record as Frank, but I'm playing you this week.
Ooh.
In Dynasty.
This doesn't look good. I haven't adjusted my team at all in Dynasty, but right now it's 99% likely you win.
Yeah, I like that, but I knew that wasn't 100% accurate, but it's close.
Yeah, well, because I don't get Brandon Cook. I don't get Brandon Cooks. I don't get Justin Jefferson.
Is Brandon Cooks hurt? Houston's not on bye.
They're on bye.
Houston,
I'm sorry. I don't get Dalvin Cook.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Huge difference, actually.
But I think what's important to mention here is Jake just made a trade for Dalvin Cook, and I just made a trade for Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
So,
that is important. I sent away CeeDee Lamb
yep.
and Elijah Mitchell, which I did kind of want Elijah Mitchell, but it's Dalvin Cook, and I already have Alexander Madison. No brainer.
Yeah,
no
I mean, that
brainer.
makes
Not
sense.
even a thought. It's there's very little he could have asked for that I wouldn't have given up. Dalvin Cook is currently a top 2 option in Dynasty. Realistically, I might try to get a better deal for him next year to somebody who's win now next year.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at with Joe Mixon. He's a rental for me.
Yeah.
I gave away Darnell Mooney in a first. I'm going to try to win this year, and then I'll trade Mixon and try to get a better future in the future.
Would you, just hypothetical, would you give me Najee Harris right now for Dalvin Cook?
No.
You wouldn't do that?
No.
That's surprising.
I think Najee's a better option now and going forward.
Yeah.
19, at least with Big Ben at quarterback.
Yeah.
If once
Right,
Big Ben
that's
leaves,
the
then,
scary part,
then I would
yeah, 'cause
consider
you-
other options, yes.
You could have Mason Rudolph next week. You never know.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be slinging it either, though. I mean, that's,
Mason Rudolph sucks.
he's
As
good at...
a football player and a human being. I don't like him.
Yeah, I wonder how he is around Christmas time.
What the fuck does that mean?
His name's Mason Rudolph. Do you think he watches that movie
He's probably
on
an
repeat
asshole about it.
every night of December?
No.
I'm going to put a red nose on him and punch him in the face.
Yeah, well, good news is our dynasty recap's pretty much over because we're playing each other, and Jonathan's probably gonna kick the shit out of me.
Let's go 6-1. I say that now, and I'm going to lose.
God, I hope so.
If I lose to you this week, who are you even going to start against me? Nobody.
Right now, I have Cameron Brate in my flex, so
Damn. Gronk will probably come back this week, so that won't even work.
yeah, no, he's probably getting dropped. Actually,
I'll pick him.
I really, dude, I hope if Kenny Galladay could come back, that would be phenomenal.
All
Chris
right,
Kadarius
why don't we
Toney's
get
gone.
into the TFD mailbox? Nobody's sending any fucking questions this week.
Fantasy Dudes Mailbox.
Send us your fucking questions.
Yeah, what the hell?
I
even
swear to God,
asked
it's like you guys
friends
listen
and
to
no
this,
one
and it's
cares.
like I guarantee you got some questions during the show.
Yeah.
I
I bet
guarantee
now
like,
you're wishing you had some questions.
You're probably like, well, what about this guy?
Now
Ask us the question.
You won't know. But thank you, Chandler, for sending in your question.
Yeah, thanks, Chandler.
What are our thoughts on Ramondre Stevenson going forward?
This week or rest of season?
I would say rest of life.
Rest of
Rest of
life.
career.
He's not even in our dynasty league.
He's in our He's not in our dynasty.
Chandler's not in our dynasty. This is a redraft.
This would be in the context of keeper.
You're not keeping Ramondre Stevens. As long as Damian Harris is actively...
You're not keeping a Patriot.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep a Patriots running back, let alone a Patriot.
But
So-
I'll say this. In the context of Ramondre Stevenson as a player, he's a good running back. I think he's a good running back.
Yeah, he's a great running back. He'll have good opportunity. I think he's a spot start if anybody misses time. I don't think he's I think he's a good player. I think Damian Harris is phenomenal, and they have other guys that they're more interested in running into the ground now, like Bolden.
Damian Harris.
More so Damian Harris than Ramondre Stevens right now as far as that goes. But like...
But going into the season, I was excited about him because there was a lot
He's
of
so
hype
good. He's
around
great.
Ramondre Stevenson for being a backup that could end up doing well. Like
Yes.
being surprisingly
Yeah.
good for the draft capital the Patriots spent on him.
Definitely.
So I mean, who knows? I think he could be a good player for the team, but not for fantasy. I really
Yes.
don't. Damian Harris is hardly a good option for fantasy, and that doesn't bode well for Ramondre Stevenson if you want to have a good flex RB2. Like, a lot would have to happen for him to be a fantasy relevant player, I think. So if you have him in Dynasty, I would hold on to him, but otherwise, I don't see him being a good option in redraft / keeper.
Yeah, Dynasty.
So-
I agree. I think. I guess maybe keeper if I wouldn't.
Yeah. Good question, though, Chandler.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Question.
But as of last week, we talked about the top 10 quarterbacks of the year so far and where we think they're going to finish. This week, we're going to do running backs, especially after coming off of Derrick Henry's insane performance on Monday night. I don't even know where to begin other than saying he will be number one barring injury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, an injury is a concern for any running back. Derrick Henry is on fucking fire. There's just nothing else to say about him. They clearly love using him. They're going to continue to use him. If you're in Dynasty, Chris Evans, is that his backup? Of course.
No, Chris Evans is Joe Mixon's backup. His backup is
Jeremy McNichols.
Jeremy McNichols.
Jeremy
Why do all backups have really funny names? Jeremy McDimes.
I'm out on Jeremy McNichols, but Jeremy McQuarters, let me tell you got to get that guy.
It depends on the week, but every now and then it changes currency.
Yeah. Jeremy McDollars.
Yeah. Wow, really? He's going up to paper.
Yeah. Ooh. Jeremy McDonald's.
And man, now he just gets fast food.
If Derrick Henry goes out, that's a pun day for sure.
Oh, dude. And he'd be a great pickup. Honestly, pick him up now.
Yeah, I think, dude, if you have a space,
Derrick Henry is bound to get hurt. I mean, have you seen how that man runs? He has 170 fantasy points this year.
I think he's an outlier human being, let alone an outlier player. So, but
do you know
your body can only hold up to so many 250, 300 carry seasons.
He's like a file cabinet running through paper.
It's unbelievable.
Like
I mean, anybody, like you even if you're a superhuman like he is, I mean, 300 carries is 300 carries.
162 attempts, 783 yards, and 10 touchdowns this year so far.
You said 782 yards?
Yeah. He has...
Could he be the first player to go back-to-back 2,000-yard seasons?
Oh, he already has.
He's going back-to-back.
I'm pretty sure 2019, 2020 were back-to-back 2,000.
I don't think so. He didn't hit 2,000 yards in 2019. I'm almost 100% sure of that.
Let me just double check.
Yeah, check it out.
Because I'm pretty sure he did, dude. Okay, no, I'm wrong. He hit 1,540 2019 and then 2,027 in 2020. So, I mean, either way, insanely good. He's had 3 back-to-back 1,000/2,000 yard seasons, and he already has 783 yards this season, and that is 6 games in. 6 games.
That's just unbelievable. That's unfathomable. I can't.
My real question is, will he be the first to have a 3,000 yard season?
No, that's preposterous. That's how many yards is that a game? That's 200 yards a game. Oh, just under 200 yards a game.
He hits like 130, 140 a game. Bare minimum is what I'm saying.
I think he could be I think maybe he could be the first 2,500 yard season.
Do you think he breaks the rushing touchdown record this season? It's like 30.
No. I don't think he does.
I think that was Tomlinson hit 30.
I think he could break the rushing yards record.
Yeah. It's tough to say, but I mean, the real question here is who's going to finish number 2. Right now, the next closest back is Austin Eckler with only 73 total attempts at running back, but he's obviously like a great pass catcher as well. So, but you got Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris on my Dynasty team at number 3.
Najee Harris, I have 2 leagues.
Elliott, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor's been so good.
DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, Cordero Patterson.
Boo.
Leonard Fournette, which is a surprise, I would say. Joe Mixon, Darrell Henderson, Alvin Kamara rounds out the top 14.
I think you find Alvin Kamara's end of season is way different than this right now. I think Alvin Kamara is still a top 10 guy.
Alvin Kamara has 1 rushing touchdown this season, 3 receiving.
But he's got an enormous target share, which is one of the sticky stats that actually means something for like indicating whether or not somebody's going to get points is target share, which he's got a large percentage of.
Michael Thomas will be back next week.
Michael Thomas is not a negative for Alvin Kamara.
No, it's not. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think it's, if anything, it's a positive.
Right. Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah. Just knowing you have somebody else on that team that you're familiar with, that you know is good, that will help your team win. Maybe that's incentive to do better. And I don't know.
I think this is pretty, and this lineup is fairly indicative of what the actual end of season is going to look like.
Fair enough. I think Austin Eckler will drop a bit. I don't think he stays up there.
Right, I agree with that. I think that they had a couple outlier games. I think Dalvin Cook ends up in the top 12.
Yeah, I would say top 10. Top 5
I think that's entirely possible. I think Leonard Fournette probably drops out, to be honest. I either he's going to get injured or
Cordero Patterson, you think that stays up there?
I really do.
That's crazy.
I hate that because I don't like the Falcons, and I don't like when players are like unpredictable. But otherwise, I think it's pretty accurate. I think Jonathan Taylor's right about where he belongs. Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones could hop up a little bit. I think he's got every bit of potential to do that.
I would love to see Joe Mixon.
Kareem Hunt. Great. We know Kareem Hunt's done.
Yeah,
Kareem Hunt's not done for the season, but 3 games out puts you outside the top 10 unless you have a stellar rest of season.
I would love to see James Robinson finish top 5. But that would be a hell of a season for him again.
Yeah.
I would love to also see Christian McCaffrey come back and make the top 10, top 8, top 6. That would be insanity. It would also win me a fantasy championship.
2 thumbs down, Jonathan.
Can you fucking imagine if he actually plays football?
Oh, Christ.
Well, yeah, that's our take on the fantasy running backs. Derrick Henry is a god.
Yep.
Let's get into survival football.
Survival football.
Ooh, this is a tough week.
You pulled out another win last week, Jake. You're 5-1.
I lost. 2-4.
I lost again. The Broncos lost to the John Gruden-less Raiders. Yeah, so man,
I'm throwing down right here. This one's an easy one. We've got a division matchup between the Ravens and the Bengals.
Oh, okay. I didn't think you were going to go for that one.
Chose the Bengals last week. The Ravens want it more. The Ravens just want this game more.
They do.
And they're not going into this game treating the Bengals like a joke, which I think other teams have.
I think this is going to be a fucking great game.
This is going to be a really good game to watch.
The Bengals are good.
The Bengals are really good this year, but they also, yes, but they also don't have an amazing defense. And the Ravens can exploit it. Right, exactly. They're good. They're not bad.
Yeah.
But they're middle of the road. And I think the Ravens can really crush these guys.
The issue with the Ravens is, like, what do you plan for in practice? What are they going to do? Like, you know they're going to throw it to Mark Andrews. You know they're going to throw it to
Hollywood Brown now.
Hollywood Brown. But
Rashad Bateman's back, too.
What running back do you plan for, first of all? And then you have to worry about Lamar Jackson.
And you have to worry about dudes like Pat Ricard.
Dude,
Project Pat. Project Pat's been unreal.
So,
it's been great.
That's tough. But yeah,
I
would say that's a good pick.
Locked in on that one. So I'll see you next week at 6-1.
I'm taking my Patriots this week, going against the Jets at home.
That's a cake. That's a cake matchup. But I'll let you have it because you're 2-4.
I got some ground to make up here.
That's a cake. That's cake.
I'm gonna creep my way. Hopefully, I can be even 4-4 at some point. But yeah,
dude, how sad are you gonna be if they
lose to the Jets at home? They've yet to win a home game this year.
You're definitely not gonna hear the end of that. Zach Wilson pulls out a W against him.
Oh my God, Jake, the Jets fan.
Well, I swear they already played Pats, right?
They have, but it was in New York, and we won. We've beaten the Jets and the Texans this year. That's it.
Tough opponents.
Yeah, big wins. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for listening. Make sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Those Fantasy Dudes. Check out thosefantasydudespodcast.com. Submit your questions over there. Please, that would be awesome. Check us out on YouTube as well. Check us out on YouTube. You can subscribe to us and put post notifications on. Eventually, we will have a video version of this podcast, just not this one. New episodes every single Wednesday. And start and sit questions with Jake.
Yup. Every Sunday morning.
Yep. Don't forget. And
nobody submitted any last weekend.
That's okay. You were traveling too. Well, that was this weekend. Yeah, you were traveling.
Oh, I didn't even do it this weekend, actually.
Yeah, I almost did it, but then I forgot. But
yeah,
I knew
I was literally on an airplane, so
Jake was physically unable to answer your non-existent questions.
Yeah, nobody asked him the week before anyway.
Jake's there for you. He's sitting there looking at his phone with a tear coming down his face.
Just for the love of God, ask a question.
Yeah.
Come on to Those Fantasy Dudes and ask us a question.
I've literally reached out to random people and been like, you can just make something up.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, good luck in your matchups in week 7 unless you're going against us. In that case, eat shit.
So both of us say eat shit to each other.
Eat shit, Jake.
Yeah, eat shit, John.
Fuck you.
Thanks for tuning in to Those Fantasy Dudes podcast. Make sure to tune in next week and follow us at Those Fantasy Dudes on Instagram.